Mario Party is sort of like the Vienna Summit. It's amazing how it brings people together, but if it goes wrong, any hopes for continuing peaceful diplomatic relationships is ruined and all parties involved may meet a horrible, fiery death. Mario Party has had 16 games in total. That's more than any other Mario series. It's had ups and downs and entries that I'm sure I would enjoy but refuse to play due to an irrational fear of change. But one game in the series that has always caught my curiosity has been one that I only know about because it's popped up on eBay while I've been trying to buy other Mario Party games. Mario Party E is a game for my favorite strange Nintendo accessory, the e-reader. I plan to do an in-depth review, so let's just break down the basics, shall we? The e-reader is a card scanning accessory that Nintendo made for the Game Boy Advance. DLC-style add-ons, NES game ports, and mini-games could all be accessed by scanning barcodes from the cards into the e-reader. It's a neat and bizarre accessory that really didn't take off in the USA. To my knowledge, Mario Party E is the only exclusive game that was released for the e-reader. This is a complete card game, so it's not like there are booster packs with an extra rare Geno card or BuzzFeed articles lying about the value of your common cards. In standard Mario Party fashion, the game supports up to 4 players. The goal is to be the first player to play the Superstar card. To do that, you have to have all 3 Superstar summon cards in play. The Superstar's clothes, shoes, and hat. You know, I haven't seen it yet, but in this deck, there's gotta be a naked Mario. I described the game as a cross between Mario Party and Uno. Each player eventually develops a set plan and thinks the game is gonna go one way, but then everything gets screwed up, friendships end, and the USSR withdraws its diplomats. Uh-oh. At the beginning of the game, each player is dealt 5 cards. During a turn, a player begins by drawing a card, then they can either make a play or discard a card if they can't. The game has several different kinds of cards, which are all categorized in different ways. But really, there are only effect cards, minigame cards, the Superstar cards, and coin cards. Most of the game is just playing coin cards to set up playing other cards, and because of that, the game has a pretty fast pace. You think the game is going one way, and bam, somebody plays something like the Ba-Bomb card, which has everyone exchange their hand cards, shuffled, and then redistributed. Then there are cards like the Boo card, where you take a coin from an opponent. The Two Boo card, where you take 2 coins from an opponent. Cards exchange hands, coins exchange players, and you exchange your friends for better ones. Only to realize you never had friends.
I win the game, motherfucker.
However, there are other cards that have more extreme effects, like looking at their hand and taking any card you want. And then there are blocker cards that prevent an opponent's card effect, but most of these cards require that you play a minigame. Bowser allows you to discard all the in-play cards on the game map, but it has a roulette effect as a drawback. The Super Wario card allows you to bet all of your in-play cards against your opponents, but the winner of the bet is decided by a duel challenge. The dual challenge cards are where the mini-games really matter. Unless you don't have an e-reader, then you just flip a coin. Yeah, really. This is where you play those classic Mario Party style mini-games. Actually, they feel more like WarioWare at times, so the mini-games aren't really all that... Wait, why haven't these 2 series crossed over? I actually think the minigames slow down the card game. They're fun, but the e-reader is kind of a pain in the ass to use. Each card has 2 barcodes and the card scanner is really sensitive, so if you don't scan it slowly and perfectly, it won't register the scan. All the minigames except for Wario's Bluff are exclusive to Mario Party E. Wario's Bluff was remade in WarioWare DIY. See? It's perfect for a crossover. Wario's Bluff has you accelerating and then having to brake at a specific time. If you don't brake soon enough, you'll fly over the edge. The closest one to the edge at the end of the game wins. Wario seems like the kind of guy who knows a thing or two about edging. Other dual challenges that stand out are Bolt from Boo, a game where you're racing to the end of the stage. Whoever gets to the end faster without being caught by Boo wins. Time Bomb Ticks. The first player sets a bomb by counting to 16 and the second player defuses it. This one is interesting because the first player sets how long the second player has. It really is just whoever does it faster, but it is a cool way to present it. Balloon Burst. Each player inflates a balloon, whoever makes it explode loses. I like this one because there's a strategic advantage to not blowing it up too much, and also blowing it up right before it explodes. You might think you're screwing over the other player, but you might just end up screwing yourself over. Then there's the free challenge cards. These ones are a little less prominent because you only play them if you don't have enough coins to use their effect. And they're actually pretty heckin' challenging. Keep in mind, you're not playing against somebody else, you're just giving yourself a single chance to play a card without a price. Mario's Mallet has you stomping Goombas with a hammer. If you wait too long, the Goombas will get Peach, but if you go too fast, you might accidentally hit Luigi. Daisy's Rodeo. Okay. What? This is the hardest thing I have ever played. Sincerely. The goal of the game is to have Daisy hold on to this Bowser robot for 10 seconds. Only 10 seconds. You're prompted to press L, R, and B, and if you don't do it at exactly the right time or hit the wrong button, you fly off. Okay. The minigames are actually really well made, and I'm surprised to find out that they haven't been recycled for any of the Game Boy or Nintendo DS Mario Party games. You know, it's a shame that this game has been so horribly forgotten. I had a lot of fun playing it. It's able to capture the spirit of Mario Party in a unique way, and as a card game, the e-reader minigames makes it stand out amongst things like Uno. And, oh shit, is that Mario Uno? It's a natural expansion to Mario Party. And it's truly a shame that it's such a pain in the ass to get a hold of. I mean, buying a Game Boy Advance, e-reader, and the game itself is a pretty decent investment that's not really worth it just to satisfy your curiosity. However, unlike most of the stuff I play on this channel, I can definitely say that I want to play it again. I might even include it in my little local multiplayer lineup.
I went into this pessimistically. I mean, it's not like the e-reader is really known for being great, but to my surprise, it was fun and a pretty novel idea. The e-reader is the game's biggest problem. It just slows down the pace completely. Having to stop and scan cards into a device very specifically and very slowly is a pain in the ass. None of the minigames last more than a minute, so you end up spending more time setting up the game than actually playing it. I would not mind seeing this concept revisited, where either an app or amiibo cards are used to play the minigames. But then again, Nintendo's never really been good with keeping products in stock, so even if they were to revisit this concept, it would probably just fade into obscurity again. So anyways, thank you for watching. If this is your first video of mine, be sure to subscribe. Also, if you want to stay up to date with my convention schedule and whatever the hell I'm thinking, be sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Finally, I also have a Patreon if you want to give me a little support that way, but that is completely unnecessary, but I really would appreciate it if you did.